So this morning I'm heading over to Gator Harley-Davidson in Leesburg to get the fork lock pulled off. So the bike needs to be reprogrammed to the CVO style where I don't have to use that fork lock system in order to turn on the bike. The reason for this is because I'm going to be installing T-bars today from KRAUS. So stay tuned in. So this is the system that we are removing from the bike, or at least today we're deprogramming it. And the reason is because right now, in order to turn on the bike, I have to put this switch over in order to utilize these switches to turn on the bike, right? So right now the process is turn this here and then put this here, and then I could actually turn on the bike. And so what they're going to do at Gator Harley-Davidson is they're going to reprogram this system to just clicking this button down, and then I'll be able to start it right there. So it's pretty much like most of the other Harley-Davidsons, the way their startups are. Now, if you haven't already, please make sure to click that subscribe button right now. That will put you in for an opportunity to win one of my weekly cash giveaways. It will also keep you up to date with all of my content and future uploads on this build series. All right, so without any further delay, let's go ahead and take this ride to Gator Harley-Davidson in Leesburg, Florida. So I'd highly recommend that if you're here in the Central Florida area, that you check out Gator Harley-Davidson. The customer service was fantastic. The dealership was very clean. This sitting area here had free food and drinks open to anybody who's a customer of Harley-Davidson. So yeah, if you're in the Central Florida area, highly recommend you checking them out. Make sure you let them know that Michael Bertini sent you over to them, and they'll take care of you. Do you guys tune here as well?
Yeah, we have a dyno.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's an hour just for your basic tune, like not being in the dyno. Then your dyno starts at 3 hours for standard. Then if you want like a performance or race tune, it's 6 hours.
You need to cash out, sir?
Yes, sir.
Last name?
Bertini, Bravo, Echo, Romeo, Tango, Indigo, Nancy Indigo.
Mike?
Yes, sir.
Good phonetics.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys exactly what they did now. So now I no longer have to turn this like you guys saw before. I don't have to turn it in order to start the bike. I'm just able to push this on like that, and then I'll be able to start the bike immediately. Okay, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and take the ride back to the house to get these T-bars installed from KRAUS. Okay, so now we got to work towards getting these bars off. I was about to say factory bars. They're actually not factory bars. They are aftermarket, if you will, Harley aftermarket bars, the thicker ones, but we got to work towards getting these off so we can start working on getting the KRAUS T-bars on. So let me just say that getting the factory handlebars removed was a much bigger pain than I thought it would be. There was so much moving around of the plastics to get things out of that tight space. I could have probably removed the gas tank and it would have been a little bit easier access. Clearly I was a little bit lazy with doing so because I did not remove the gas tank. The entire process, all in all, took several hours for me to complete. Just this removal alone here probably took about an hour and a half. Maybe, but I did save, quite a bit of money for not having to take it into Gator Harley or any Harley at that and have them remove the handlebars and install the new ones for me from KRAUS. Getting the wiring through this handlebar was much more difficult, or I should say removing it was much more difficult than the Fly Moto bars, which you guys will see here in a second. Removing it was far bigger of a pain than I was expecting. I thought it was just gonna slide out, and it didn't. But yeah, all in all, I was able to get the cable out and get everything weighed in. Okay, so now we're going to see how much weight we're either shaving off or adding to the bike by going to a KRAUS T-bar setup. So the first thing that we'll go ahead and weigh here is this lock, which we no longer will have. Let's go ahead and get the scale back on here. So this is going to be 14 ounces roughly. And we have this plastic. Actually, I should have probably weighed these two together. Okay, so with the plastic that we'll no longer have on there, it's 1 pound 5 ounces. So I'll go ahead and put that off to the side. Then we have our hardware. So the hardware is 1 pound 11 ounces, almost 1 pound 12 ounces. And then we have the handlebars themselves. Let me see if I can get this on here. And they're roughly 8 pounds 2 ounces. Now I will be adding product links to everything that I purchased from KRAUS, but the first thing is going to be these Fly Moto style bars. They're actually in black, powder coated black that is. So let me go ahead and just take these out here so you guys can see them. By the way, the part number on this is 825-05055, and they're titled the Fly Moto style bar. Not sure why it says silver because it's actually black. Maybe they were originally silver, but I had these powder coated for the fit and finish, or well, actually mainly for the finish. I shouldn't say the fit. They're actually pretty light. I'm interested to see what they weigh when we get them weighed up here. Okay, and the next thing that we're gonna be adding here, but we won't need to weigh these because we didn't weigh the factory ones, but these are the Perch Clamps. The part number is HDHC01A as an alpha. And then, yeah, I mean, they look good. I figured might as well just complete the look of the kit, but we're not gonna weigh these because we're just replacing them with the factory ones. And then they come with the bushings and bolts for everything. Let's go ahead and open these up here. Ooh, these are pretty. These are really nice. I think we got to change out the bushings on the factory ones with those. So I'll have to weigh those in. Then we're also adding this KRAUS, I believe it's called the T-Rex bagger. It is STPB01A as an alpha. Looks nice. I'll take it out the packaging here in a second and then get it all weighed up. And then I also went with these Odie grips. These are the V-Twin lock-on grip set. And let me find the part number here for you guys. The part number is V31HTWBHH. And they are the V-Twin lock-on HD. TBW stands for throttle by wire waffle grip, and I got the black / gunmetal, which means that this is black and this is gunmetal. I figured it would actually, you know, match the bike really nicely, so I didn't go with the all black one. So hopefully I wasn't wrong about this. And lastly, the big kahuna. Wow, these are heavy. These have some heft to them. These are the KRAUS risers. The part number, so I went with the 8-inch ones, so it's 8 by 1 1/8, and the part number is UNISO28A. And yeah, they look really nice. They feel really hefty. So let's go ahead and get everything on the scale. So far, I mean, the quality looks amazing, but let's get everything on the scale and see what we're weighing in at. Okay, now to get the first thing, which is these risers. These are the 8-inch risers, by the way. The craftsmanship on this, the finish is just beautiful. I can't even, like, the camera doesn't even do it justice. It is just a gorgeous piece. But the risers, let's see how much these weigh. So these are 3 pounds 5 ounces. Okay, and then let's add these bolts to it. So 3 pounds 12 ounces is what we're at so far. Now we do got to factor in the T-Rex plate, and that is 1 pound 4 ounces. And then the Moto bars, let's see what they weigh in at. Let's see if I can get these angled here. Good. 13 ounces. Let's just call it 14 ounces. Well, it's 13, but I guess we can say 14 or 13, however you want to look at it. They're super lightweight. I mean, they don't even feel, they feel so light, it's ridiculous. It seems like I'm saving some weight based on all the components that I'm adding here. But I'll go ahead and add that on the screen now so you guys can see how much weight we just shaved off in the build. All right, well, let's go ahead and get it mounted on the bike and see how it looks in terms of the fitment and the finish when it's on the bike, and get everything buttoned back up. So as I started trying to run the cabling through the bars, I realized that I needed to get these Milwaukee picks out to start the fishing process, because it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. It was definitely easier than removing the cabling from the original aftermarket bars that I had on there. The trick that you see me doing here, I'd highly recommend anybody doing that, and it's taking just some gauged wiring. It doesn't have to be too thick gauged, maybe even like a hanger, wrapping it around the cord first and creating like a hook on it, and then taping it down with some electrical tape. And the foot-pounds of torque here is 55 foot-pounds and some blue Loctite. Installing the KRAUS 8-inch risers on to the bike wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. By the way, it's also 55 foot-pounds of torque that you're going to need for the risers to mount to the triple tree. But I was very happy with the way that everything turned out and how I ran the cables through the fairing. It came out very clean, so I was really happy with that. And then a friend is going to be giving me a sleeve for the cabling just to further clean up those cables on the front of the bike. The other thing that I did was I used a caliper to make sure that the handlebars were completely center, which is you're going to see me doing here in a second, and just making sure that everything was perfectly aligned on both sides. The torque specs for the top clamp is 7.5 foot-pounds of torque, or like 90 inch-pounds. So let me quickly show you how the fitment looks on me. This way, for those of you guys who are interested in purchasing this same setup, you guys can see if we're similar heights, you can see how it fits me. Now, for those of you guys who are on the edge as to whether you should do 8-inch risers or 10-inch risers, right? Because I went with the 8-inch risers, and these are not the pullback version. I'm happy that I actually went with the 8-inch because I feel like it's more of my style. It's more of a sporty, if you will, kind of style. I feel more motocross inspired, right? And that is how I enjoy riding. Do I regret not going with the 10-inch? Absolutely not. This is a perfect setup right here. I prefer where my hands are at now. It feels comfortable. I don't know if you guys can see this in the video, but my hands might seem like they're a little bit down. They are a tad bit at an angle, but not by much. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that the setup came out. I'm really happy with the way that the bike feels. The clearance is so much better now. I feel like I have so much more control over the bike now. Now, just to show you guys the fit and finish of every piece. So as you can see here, these are the Odie grips. I'm really happy. It's the gunmetal color. It doesn't exactly match the factory color, but it's pretty similar, and I like it. It pops out, so I am glad I went with these instead of the black ones, but they're very grippy. They really have that motocross inspired feel, And then just to show you on the throttle side, it is just so smooth. It's so much better than the grips that were on there originally, in my opinion. The grips that were on there are those famous Harley grips that everybody loves. I forget what they're called. Now, the other thing was, which I was forgetting the name of, is these Perch Clamps. These are, I believe, new from KRAUS, but they're really nice. They came out really clean. Let me just show you both sides. They came out really clean. The machining on them and the fitment on them is beautiful. They really pop. The Fly Moto bar, I had it powder coated straight from KRAUS in powder coat black. It's really nice. It's really clean, and it's not supposed to fade, which is great. KRAUS 8-inch risers. Let me just show you guys here. I mean, these are beautiful pieces. And then the KRAUS T-Rex clamp. Now, one thing to call out, because it was very difficult for me to find, I couldn't find it on the internet and I had to call KRAUS directly, but it's the torque specs on these. So you want to torque the bottom ones down, both sides down. So the ones that mount to the triple tree, it is 55 foot-pounds is what you want to torque it down to. And then on the risers is also 55 foot-pounds that you want to torque down the risers to. They do recommend using a little bit of blue Loctite on both sides. So obviously I'm going to recommend that as well. And then these up here for the clamps, these are 7.5 foot-pounds is what you're supposed to be torquing these down to. That equals out to like 90 pounds, I believe. I tightened these down in a cross pattern, and I also put some blue Loctite on these as well. But overall, I'm super happy with the setup. I'm super excited to see how it is when I drive it. As you can see, I have mounted my rock form mount here, and I have now full visibility of my gauges. Before on the ape hangers, I did not have visibility of my right turn signal or my full voltmeter. Now I can see everything just perfectly. I'm super happy with the fit and finish of all of the KRAUS products. I think they did a phenomenal job with coming up with a great T-bar setup. I think it's absolutely perfect, and I'd highly recommend anybody to get this kit who's interested in doing a T-bar setup. What I'm gonna do for you guys is I'm gonna put links in the description box below to where you can find all of the parts that I used in today's build. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This way you can be counted in for all of my weekly cash giveaways. So do me a quick favor and please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you're notified every single time I put out a new build series video, as well as one of my weekly cash giveaways. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode in my build series. Don't forget to like and comment down below. That will put you in for an opportunity at one of my weekly cash drawings. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to pay it forward. I'll see you guys later. Bye now.